Hello, I'm Zerift. How are you doing? I've done a lot of talk in these videos about inpatient, but today I want to do a video specifically for outpatient, which is kind of a weird thing to talk about considering it's Valentine's Day, but whatever. I'm single. I don't care. um, but real quick, what are the differences between inpatient and outpatient? Inpatient's where uh, they you're locked in the hospital and you're under observation and treatment, which makes it sound worse than it really is. It's not that bad. Yeah. It doesn't have its moments, but enough of that. An outpatient, you're required to go to these sessions when you're outside the hospital and certain times amount a week. For me, it was 5 days a week. They require a lot of things from you: hygiene, well dressed. Like that one was one that always weirded me out. Like they require you to be well dressed. Like not you can't slouch your appearance. You have to be well groomed and so forth. I'm like, so you can't cheap out on your appearance for some reason. I guess it's not to upset anyone else, but yeah, they require that, or that's what at least what I got. Like I had to. These are some old shirts right now, but back in the day, these were actually really clean pressed shirts. Like it's not too over the top about appearance, but it's like there to where you. It's yeah, I think that's more of the case. Is that it's more that a promise that you're going to take care of yourself when you come to these sessions. Like let's see what I can talk about. Yeah, you have to set up a. This is where your program usually starts. It's where mine started. It's that help you take care of yourself, especially when enough. It's mostly a bunch of group therapy sessions, followed by other sessions. Um, so I yeah, I always thought of it as, to me, it was always like this. I don't know I can't speak for everybody else because I don't know what their group therapy sessions were like or outpatient programs were like. But it felt like a private sanctum that I can talk to a bunch of people about anything. And they surprisingly weren't judgmental. Like, that was my fear. Like, they're going to be all judging and harshing because I have a lot of experience with people. And when they're just judgmental and harsh for no reason, I don't get it. People are weird. But here, we talked about what we were dealing with and we shared, and they're very encouraging that you open up and try not to. Well, you have a choice what you say and can't say, but in there it was you could open up. They had, I think it was IOP and ICP, or ICP, something like. Yeah, it was IOP and something else. Yeah, and so there's these two rooms, and each session was different. And we, yes, the people were well, when I was there, I heard stories about what happened after I wasn't there. But the people, what I can say, were real friendly. They were very. It was a very much a support group. Um, they were very supportive, is what I should say. And there was, yeah, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and these sessions go by fast, and so forth. Yeah, and when you go in the mornings, they have usually something, a little something for breakfast, like a bagel and coffee, or a muffin and coffee. Um, a lot of coffee. It's amazing. I talked a lot about this, but when you're an inpatient, one of the things you surprisingly I missed was, and I would not, and I'll be honest, I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I missed the taste of coffee, real coffee, when I was an inpatient. So when they had a bunch of coffee and bagels, I almost cried the first time I was there because it was like I poured myself several cups. But yeah, and so it was very loud. You just wait in there, and then we have, depending on what day of the week, we had different sessions. Like we have different extracurricular uh, um, therapists that dealt with extracurricular activities. There we go. I said it. Uh, and they would. It can vary from everything from making drawing a picture about how you feel, or uh, playing games to kind of help out, to even yoga. Yeah, we did a couple of yoga sessions, and another day it would be, yeah, actually a couple of sessions. The nurse would come in and talk about. One day she'll talk about our mental health disorders, um, like bipolar, and which is where I learned a lot about it, depression and things like that, schizophrenia. And you also learn about superfoods for your diet. They were a big fan of avocados. I'm not a fan, but they were. Like they would go, like when they go and listen how much things an avocado could help you with. It's like it's this long list that fills the whole board, top to bottom. Sometimes we'll watch a movie that they feel is okay for mental health patients. Usually dealing dealing with mental health. They're usually really relaxing films to help relax everyone before they go back into group therapy sessions. Sometimes we'll watch a documentary, like we watched one. Well, I'm a professional. I can't say its name because, but it was on food. You probably know it. So there's discussions of that, and that was one of the therapy sessions. Well, one of the programs they have for outpatient. Then you move into the other one, which is intense therapy session. You have a choice if you go into that one or not, but I chose to, and they would ask you questions that really digs into your psyche. They would make us watch movies and ask what parts made you feel uncomfortable. Why did those parts make you feel uncomfortable? And they really go psychoanalysis on you. But it really wasn't that bad. It was. Uh, really we discuss, and it's very much so also a group therapy session. So we would discuss things, and people, and the community was, for the most part, was very supportive. In outpatient, they're very supportive. You know, you talk about doing things when you get from inpatient to outpatient, and when you get to outpatient, they they people talk about like how much you're going to hang out with everybody, and you really do. Like they have a cafeteria that provides for the other program, but not the other one, which is a little weird to me. That again, it ends earlier, so but at the hospital, so they so people talk during lunch. They also sometimes we would go out to eat, have a good time, tricep activities for each other, and so forth, and become a support network. It was actually, yeah, I was inpatient. They told me to go play D&D, and an outpatient. They were more supportive of it, more encouraging. They were like, "Yes, go do it. You know, go out, go be part of the community, be part of something." And I'm like, okay. So it was, yeah, but so outpatient is very different from being inpatient. It is very different. It is, uh, it always felt to me like very clear and soothing, but, you know, and like, just, and I guess this could be said for most group therapy sessions, but to be able to talk to someone about what I normally can't talk about, it sort of feels like a weight is off your chest. And yeah, so outpatient was, all in all, is very, very, very good positive experience for me. Uh, you know, both of them were. So yeah, I would, you know, if you don't want to, if someone doesn't want to go inpatient, I would encourage outpatient. Um, it's, and yes, they do. I forgot to mention they do have you write up your program. You write up several things. Your support network. Your, you can call an emergency and so forth. But it really, yeah, it really was a positive experience, and outpatient. So I would say, yeah, like I say, it was a, it had a really positive impact on my life. What else can I say? All right. So thanks for listening. This is Zerift signing off.